All right, very excited to be releasing a brand new program here for Red Delta Project, the Ultimate Minimalist Fitness Program. Now I'm going to explain the whole thing here in today's video, which is going to be a bit long, so I've left timestamps down below in the description to the various sections if you want to skip ahead. I also created a free PDF that you can download about the whole thing, which also is in the description, and I even put it on Kindle, although unfortunately I couldn't make that one free. Amazon needed 99 cents, so if you wanted to have it in a more formalized format for your Kindle, the link is down below in the description for that as well. I got inspired to make this program when I was talking with my friend Al Painter over doyouintegrate.com. We had a podcast the other day, and we were talking about how there seems to be this widening gap in our fitness culture between the haves and the have-nots in fitness. And a lot of this is due to what I call the go big or go home approach. It's like go and take your diet and exercise plans very serious, become a very serious fitness enthusiast, go extreme as you can with your diet and exercise and stuff to get as good a result as you can, because that's where the best results are. But if you can't go big, then go home, just give up. It's not even worth bothering trying. I hear from a lot of people who they're like, well, I'd love to be in shape, but I can't go to that level, so why bother even trying? This really frustrates me because one of the biggest kept secrets in fitness is that the best, most meaningful, life-changing results don't come from having a maximum deadlift or single-digit body fat or anything. They actually come from the low-hanging fruit that can be accomplished with relatively simple, easy to maintain health and fitness habits. But most people never take this stuff seriously because, again, it's the go big or go home approach. The Ultimate Minimalist Fitness Program is divided into 3 key strategies. These strategies are very flexible. They're very adjustable to any fitness level. They require minimal amount of time. If you don't have much time, they shouldn't require any equipment at all. Very little skill, and yet at the same time, provide you with a very wide range of comprehensive benefits that not only are relatively easy to achieve, but far easier to maintain for years to come. The first section is the muscular conditioning approach. And what this does is we need some way to strengthen and condition the muscles of the body. We need to assess all of the 4 factors of neuromuscular proficiency, and we also need to address all 3 factors of muscular function, strength, mobility, and stability at the same time. And we can do this with 3 main movement patterns. The first movement pattern is the squat movement pattern. Anything where you're standing upright and you essentially squat down so your hips come closer to your heels. This can be any number of exercises, of course, naturally squats of various shapes and sizes, lunges, Bulgarian split squats, anything where you're changing your elevation in a vertical way using your legs, strength, stability, and mobility will fit the bill. The second movement pattern is being in the prone position. So this is planks, this is push-ups, this is mountain climbers, this is crawling, this is anything where you're on your hands and feet and you're facing down towards the floor. And this is a great way to condition all of the muscles along the entire front of the body, your push chain, and it also does wonders for the mobility in your wrists, your shoulders, your elbows, and even your hips with some variance. And then the third movement pattern is anything that has you in a supine position. So you're either lying on the ground or you're in some sort of a hip bridge variation. So you have spinal extensions, crab walks, hip bridges, slant reverse bridges. All these sorts of exercises fit into this category. What this does is works all the muscles along the back side of your body while stretching and mobilizing all the muscles on the front side of your body. So the general approach here isn't to think of this as a workout so much as it is playful practice. Think like Mike Fitch's animal flow approaches. You can do this any way that you want. One of the great things about these 3 movement patterns is that no matter how you do them, they work. And basically you can modify them with any sort of variance to be harder, easier. You can focus on mobility, strength, or stability with variations. Of course, that's a little bit more than what we can get into in this simple video. There's a ton of other ways to get into that in the Red Delta Project videos that I've made in the past. And play with it. Don't think how many sets and reps should I do? How many times should I do this? Should I do it split or anything? That's the great thing about these 3 strategies, is they will work no matter how you do them. And then it's just a matter of fine-tuning and adjusting the strategy to better suit your goals and your preferences. The second strategy in the program is dietary, nutritional, right? And this is very much a can of worms that we can open up. But if you've been following the Red Delta Project for any amount of time, you're probably already familiar with this one, what I call my 3P strategy. Because basically, if you consider your 3 Ps with each meal, your diet will pretty much take care of itself. So every time you're sitting down to a meal, you consider the 3 Ps. The first P is plant. Do you have plant-based foods of any kind? It could just be as simple as tea at breakfast or some berries that you're having with an omelet or something. But do you have something that's plant-based? Second is protein. Okay? You have a good protein source there. And the third is portion control. Are you eating enough? Are you eating too much? Are you not eating enough? Adjusting your portions. That's where a lot of your weight management comes into play. If you want to lose weight, decreasing your portion sizes. You want to gain weight, you increase your portion sizes. And like with the other exercise component, it's just about being aware of those 3 things and then adjusting and tweaking things to suit how many calories do you need, what kind of foods do you like, what sort of recipes do you enjoy. But keeping those 3 things in mind keeps your diet to be a fairly high quality, very rewarding, very satisfying as well. And you don't need to count things, you don't need to read labels, you don't need to assume an identity or anything like I'm a so-and-so or anything. It works all the time for any circumstance. So you can be vegan or paleo or intermittent fasting and stuff, and not only does it work with it, but it makes them better. Because a lot of times when people are super strict about their diet, it usually ends up being so restrictive that they're negating one of those 3 Ps, and their diet henceforth isn't actually as healthy as it could be. And then the third strategy is a type of physical activity that we need that potentially can burn some good calories, can be very adjustable to any fitness level, but also kind of addresses some of the mental and emotional aspects of fitness. And for that, we use the simple strategy of walking. Going for a walk. Not only is walking one of the most natural things we can do, but you can use it most every day. You can use it to burn a significant amount of calories. I've known plenty of people who've lost a significant amount of weight with adding walking into their program because they can do it for long periods of time every single day. It doesn't beat your body up. In fact, it can rejuvenate the body. But it's also something that we need more of in our modern day that gets us physically removed from our electronic overlords. It gets us away from the artificialness of modern society, modern light, the smartphone screens, all that sort of stuff that just kind of hampers down our mental and emotional state. Because when you go out for a walk, you are physically removing yourself from those things. One of my favorite lines from the old Calvin and Hobbes comic strip is, the world always seems a heck of a lot better if you can just manage to get out into it. And going for a walk and purposely walking, not just meandering around window shopping, but going for a dedicated walk can do that for you. And if you want to make it more intense, that's not hard to do either. You just go up. You know, here in the Rocky Mountains, of course, we've got plenty of trails and ways to do this, but you can maybe even find staircases, stadiums, anything where you're going up in elevation at a walking pace will give you a very serious cardio challenge. I mean, just this morning, I was over at the mini incline over in Castle Rock, and I did 5 trips. And believe me, every single one of those was a major butt kicking. My heart rate was absolutely pegged every single one, and I'm sure I'm gonna feel it in the legs tomorrow. Now, I do have to warn you about this program, because when you look at those 3 things on the surface, they hardly seem like they're anything effective at all. And that's exactly the point. The whole reason behind the Ultimate Minimalist Fitness Program is to give you access to habits that bring a lot of benefits, a wide range of benefits that are easily accessible and relatively easy to maintain. And even though they may not look like much, they cover a lot of bases and fill in a lot of cracks that even serious exercisers fail to address. A lot of times we have people in the gym all the time, they're like, I'm really strong in these exercises, but their entire posterior chain is completely shut off because they've done everything seated down. Or when it comes to, I'm super serious about my diet, yet they have no plant foods. or very little portion control awareness with their diet. So even though they're eating right, their diet still isn't very healthy. And of course, lastly, it's like, well, I work out all the time. Yeah, in a stuffy, artificial gym. When was the last time you were out in the natural resources that Mother Nature has, like wind and fresh air and sunlight, which bring us benefit that science only now is starting to recognize we cannot get from artificial means. Nevertheless, I don't expect a lot of people to take this program seriously because we've long been conditioned that the only way to get serious results is to be very serious and extreme, go big and go home and make this whole thing a huge deal in order to be worthwhile. But it's not at all a very practical approach to general health and fitness. That'd be like saying in order to have proper oral hygiene, everybody needs to be a dentist. Of course not. I don't have any interest in making dental work a major part of my life. I just want something simple, straightforward, and easy to adhere to so I can take care of my teeth and oral hygiene on a daily basis. And that's what this program is. It covers the bases, it makes sure you have a strong foundation, and you may find that this alone is perfectly fine. Or when life gets kind of crazy and hectic, this will take care of you. But of course, if you want to build up and add things to it, you want to be a mountain bike racer, you want to practice jujitsu, you want to do bodybuilding or all these other things, this will give you a solid foundation that you can accomplish more with those go big attitudes and approaches in the future if you so choose. All right, I'm done talking. I really hope you'll give this program a serious look for and just consider some of these things because they're really not that hard to implement into your daily life, especially like the 3 Ps. And hopefully they'll bring you some benefits that are really quite substantial. And they can really make a big difference in how you look, feel, and perform over the long run. Thoughts and questions down below, more videos here. Thank you very much for watching. Be fit, live free.